All right, all right. Welcome in, everyone. Sorry, just got some people obviously coming in like last minute here, so hang tight one sec. Welcome in, everyone. Thanks for joining us today on our workshop. I'm Dr. Benedetto. For those of you who do not know me, we're going to get started in one sec. Just want to make sure that everybody who wants to get in gets in. And cameras are awesome, but if you don't mind muting yourself, you should all be muted when you come in. Everyone can hear me, right? If someone can give me like a thumbs up or like in the chat, just be like, "Yeah, we hear you. We're cool." Anyone? So, thumbs up. All right, cool. Perfect. Yep. Sorry. We always get some like, late joiners here the last minute. So, awesome. Thank you, Susan. All right, cool. I promise there is going to be time for Q&A today as well. So we're gonna have our workshop. You're gonna learn a ton. It's gonna be super fun. This is gonna be an interactive workshop, so you guys are gonna get to participate. I got some really cool stuff on tap for you. So I want you guys to learn something, but I also want you to have a little fun with it. So we're gonna go ahead and jump right in one sec. Let me just make sure everyone's in. And let me get my screen ready here, and we are going to share my screen, and we're going to get to work. But yeah, there'll be plenty of time for Q&A afterwards. I'm not going to go. This is not a. Those of you who have been in my workshops before, this is not a pitch fest. I'm not selling anything. This is purely educational. It's for you guys. Like it's not going to be a 90-minute webinar of testimonials and all this nonsense. You're going to get a ton of information today, actionable information. Again, it's going to be very interactive. So hopefully you're going to learn a little bit something about about your stress and how your stress may be affecting your health in general, but your Hashimoto specifically. So this is going to be, this is literally going to be, my goal is about 30 minutes of content, straight content right after it. And then leave plenty of time for Q&A. So this is not going to be like a webinar where I'm selling something, or I know you guys have sat through those things. I've sat through those things either. This is not going to be 90 minutes of me, um, giving you testimonials and stuff. So this is going to be straight up info that you can use, and hopefully you learn a lot today. And but again, I'll leave plenty of time for Q&A at the end if anybody has questions. I'm a one-man band here today, so I'm manning the chat. I'm manning the everything. So I don't have, any staff in the background doing anything. So bear with me. But glad everyone can hear me. Let's go ahead and let's dig in. And then, like I said, I'll leave plenty of time for Q&A at the end. Let me share my screen here. All right, let's get to it. Here's the topic of conversation today. How is stress triggering Hashimoto's to destroy your thyroid? And when we're done today, I want you guys to understand how, and again, I say women, this condition is 90% women. There's probably a few guys in here. I have plenty of male patients. Um, but the reality of it is that's just, it affects mostly women, right? So, so how women and men, if you're here, I don't see any yet, um, losing their edge. Here's the more important thing, what to do about it, right? Look, stress is stress. It like everyone throws it around like it's an easy term to use, and it's a problem. We all deal with it, but here's the important thing is how is it affecting? I want you guys to learn specifically why it's so important to address with Hashimoto's, and then again, more importantly, what to do about it. That's the more important thing, right? All right, let's get to work. So here's what I want you to discover today. Okay. I say in the next hour, that's total. I'm not going to go on for an hour. Trust me. I want to get you what you need and get out. But I want you to walk away with a picture, a clear picture of why it's so important, how it's been really breaking down your health, and a roadmap to reverse it. Okay. So we're going to do a couple of things. We're going to talk about why stress is systematically destroying your thyroid, your hormones, your energy production. Again, things that most doctors never talk about, never test, never even think to look for, right? We are going to do a personal assessment today, live on this workshop. We are going to do, you're gonna get a chance to do a personal assessment. You can access the exact tool that I use with my patients to reveal how you're going to get a score, a stress imbalance score, that identifies which of your stress coping systems are failing right now. And then we're going to talk about a Hashimoto's recovery protocol. You're going to discover how genetics, you're going to discover how precision protocols with diet and nutrition can help restore energy and your thyroid function before the damage becomes irreversible. All right. Now, by now, I'm going to assume that you have noticed a pattern, right? That your symptoms are not isolated, they're system wide, right? And honestly, look, this is the conversation I have with my patients all the time. Symptoms are the alarm bell, they're the canary in the coal mine. I posted something in my Facebook group yesterday. A lot of you are probably in there, but I posted a question in there. What do you think is the one root cause that we see across every single person that has Hashimoto's? And tons of the answers that I got were symptoms. It was people chiming in like joint pain, fatigue, weight gain. I'm like, whoa, hold on. Those are symptoms of the problem. That's not the cause of the problem, right? So, so the symptoms are the alarm bell, but they're all connected to a common root cause. And you guys know the symptoms, right? Your hair's falling out like in like handfuls. Trust me. Those of you who know my story, and I'm not going to get into it today super deep, but my wife has Hashimoto's. That's why we're here today. That's why I do this for a living. So, yes, I've been there when, she's over the bathtub, you know, raging about all the hair that's in the drain, right? You're exhausted despite no matter amount of sleep that you get, right? You're eating clean, you're working out like crazy, right? Weight's not coming off. Brain fog, neurological issues, you can't find the words, right? Throw stress in there today. We're going to talk about today. Anxiety, mood swings. Sounds common, right? All right. Now, listen, before we go any further, this is the one thing you have to understand is that it's not your fault, and I want you to understand that because what's happening to your body with stress and Hashimoto's, it's not a reflection of you, right? It's not that you're not trying, it's not that you're not researching, it's not your effort, it's not the person you are, it's not your resolve or your perseverance. The problem is this isn't just your thyroid, okay? So it's easy to just say, okay, you need to reduce stress, right? That's the line your doctor's going to give you, right? Oh, you just got to reduce your stress. Go meditate, go exercise, nonsense, right? But here's the thing, your biology, right? Your physiology plays far more of a complex and far more of a treatable role. That's one of the take homes I want for today too is there's going to be two angles to stress. It's like, yes, dealing with it, but the physiological response, how your body deals with it, that is diagnosable and treatable. Okay. Now it's ignored by modern mainstream medicine, but it's doable. It's not in your head. You're not crazy. You don't need to be like, oh, I'm getting older. I just have to accept this. Okay. The symptoms are real. They're measurable and they're reversible. Again, we're going to do a cool assessment today where you guys will see that. And again, it's not a willpower problem. This isn't like, oh, you're not trying hard. I know you've been fed these lines. Like you're lazy, you're not eating right, you're not exercising, even though you are trying. I know you've been pushing yourself, and sometimes that's what makes it worse. All right. Here's what's happening is your body's being hijacked by stress. It's a biological hijacking. Is there a psychological component to this? Or yes, of course. Okay. But we're talking about today mostly as a biological hijacking. What is happening inside your body with due to the stress and why we have to deal with it and how we can deal with it. Okay. There's chemistry involved, biochemistry, right? Cortisol, you guys know this. And something called pregnenolone, which we're going to get to in depth today as a hormone precursor. They're locked in a battle, and unfortunately, your thyroid hormones are losing. Okay, your immune system's losing too. We'll tie that in later. It's your hormones. Your hormones are being disrupted due to how your body's dealing with stress. Okay. And it's affecting it at every level of your hormones. It's a cascade. The hormones are a cascade, right? It's a waterfall. It's measurable and it's fixable. Okay. Most of you have heard me drone on and on and on about a Dutch test. And I love the Dutch test with my patients because it shows us everything. Stress hormones, sex hormones. Like it shows us where the weak parts are. So we can test every spot and every mechanism. We can track it, we can correct it at the right spot with the right protocol. Okay. Look, you're not going to get this from your medical doctor, right? They're not looking at the same markers. They're looking at routine surface level blood work. They're using the wrong treatment model, which is you have these symptoms, take these pills. It's never going to fix the root of the issue. Okay. All right. So let's dig in here. Let's start talking about what is actually happening. Let's talk about this stress hijack and what's actually happening inside someone's body who has Hashimoto's. Okay. There's kind of four pillars here. Cortisol steals pregnenolone. Okay. So here's what happens. Pregnenolone is the master hormone. Okay, you guys may have heard of this term before. Pregnenolone is the master hormone. Most of your other steroid hormones, okay, they're from steroids. That's what we're talking about. Steroid hormones, okay, sex hormones, thyroid hormones, all your hormones. Okay, they're made from pregnenolone, which is the base. Okay. Now, what happens is if you're stressed all the time, this is real stress. Here's the thing. This is real stress and or perceived stress, right? Your brain kind of doesn't know the difference. Like if your brain conjures up stress, it still fires up the stress mechanisms in your body. So we're going to get to that as far as a treatment modality. But what happens is this pregnenolone makes your sex hormones, it makes your adrenal hormones, your thyroid hormones. So what happens is with something called cortisol steal. If you're making all this cortisol all the time, your body is stealing all of this pregnenolone and it's diverting it over here to feed cortisol, right? So we lose the precursors to make thyroid hormones and sex hormones. If it's Hashimoto's, your immune system is on the attack, right? So if we're under stress, that's going to flare the autoimmune, the immune system, right? So your antibodies are going to spike. What's going to happen then, right? Cortisol floods your system repeatedly, right? Your body is constantly cranking out cortisol, okay? So the cortisol is stealing the pregnenolone from the other hormone pathways. So now we can't make those other hormones because we're cranking out all this cortisol. All of that cortisol and all of this stress is going to flare your immune system, right? So it's going to continue to attack. TPOs are going to spike. This chronic stress is going to cause this cortisol to flood the system all the time. What's it going to do? It's going to affect your nervous system. So you're going to have brain fog, you're going to get hair loss, you can't lose weight, your performance is going to struggle at your job, you're going to get anxiety, depression, your gut is going to be a mess. Cortisol in high quantities for long periods of time is very toxic to the brain and very toxic to the gut. It's going to break down the gut, guaranteed. It is going to be a major contributing factor towards leaky gut. It's no doubt. Okay. So there's this suppression loop. So every day, every stressful day, you can see here, every day, stressful day restarts this cascade. So without interrupting or stopping the cycle at the root, no amount of thyroid medication will restore your thyroid hormone levels or your thyroid function. This is one of the reasons why you still feel terrible and your labs are normal. Quick about me, Moses, I forgot I even threw this in there. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Dr. Ray Benedetto, and as you can see, I think this guy looks better than me. He doesn't have as much gray hair as me, so I threw him in there. But I've been in practice for a very long time, and I've been seeing Hashimoto's patients almost exclusively now for 13 years, um, which was born out of my wife being diagnosed with Hashimoto's after the birth of our third child. So my goal in life became getting her well, and it became the mission. So that's why we're here today. All right, real quick. This is a testimonial, but look, this is what's possible, right? I teach a 6 month framework, and this isn't an outlier. This is what my patients experience, right? Flares all the time, symptom relief, losing weight, sleeping better. And a huge part, right? Antibodies down completely. And a huge part of what I do with my patients, literally, like the first, like day one, it's actually month, it's like the first 2 to 6 weeks of treatment is dealing with everything we're talking about today, is dealing with stress in their lives and dealing with the stress mechanisms. My patients who are here right now will tell you, and you guys are going to get it. You guys are going to do it today. The one of the assessments that I give them day one is the stress assessment, and you guys are going to take it today. All right. Now, why does stress affect people with Hashimoto's more so than people without Hashimoto's? Okay. It's literally math. Like, and you're not going to get these numbers from other doctors. Okay. But here's what you're working with. Let's say, I don't care what your age, but obviously when you're younger, right? 100% doing great, cycling normally, healthy, no, not a ton of stress, right? We're good to go, right? Full hormone production. When I say hormones, I mean thyroid, adrenal, sex hormones, all your hormones, right? And no autoimmune burden, right? You get to 50, now we're dealing with issues, right? Natural hormone production is already declining. That's natural, right? That's why we call it natural hormone production. Add stress in there, then we're gonna burn through those hormones even faster. Throw Hashimoto's in the mix. You guys know this, right? There's we are at a deficit now. That gas tank is empty, right? So we're reaching a critical state. It's not just like a temporary slump. It's it's now becoming prolonged. It's now becoming long term. All right. Three types of stress. Okay. We're going to touch on all of them. Number three is really the probably the most dangerous one because it's due to the other two. And but this is the one that's really addressable, really the most easily addressed, I should say. And again, nobody's talking about this stuff. Look, we all live life, right? I'm no different than anybody else. We all have psychological stressors. We all have work pressure. We all have relationship issues. We have family issues, right? You recognize these, but we underestimate them. They have to be dealt with, right? I talk about these things with all my patients. They have to be dealt with. Okay. I'm not a psychologist, but we have to deal with these things. We have to find, when I break it down for my patients, I'm like, listen, your stressors are in two camps. Ones that we need to deal with, that we need to cope with, and ones that are physiologically causing problems in your body that we have to deal with. Okay. Physical stress. People don't realize this. And my wife's, I'm always on guard with my wife about this because she is an exercise maniac. You would never know she has Hashimoto's. She overtrains sometimes. So I'm all over her all the time about physical stress, right? Overtraining, chronic low grade inflammation, like exercising too much. It happens. Really, the third one's the most important one to handle right away. And honestly, many times when we handle the third one, the other two take care of themselves, right? Taking care of the chaos that is someone's blood sugar, right? That's why we got to do diet stuff right away because we got to get that blood sugar in check. We got to get their immune system in check. We have to fix their gut. We have to decrease inflammation. Okay. The metabolic stressors are the escalator. That's what is ramping up the autoimmune attacks. Now, we're gonna have a little fun. Okay. Now, here's what I want you to do. Well, anyone who's here live, I'm gonna send out this replay. So if you're here live, you're gonna get the replay. Don't have to do this again. I would hope not. Well, you're not gonna get the chat anyway. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to be honest, and in the chat, I want you to take these symptoms. Okay. This is the start because we're gonna do something really cool next. We're gonna do an assessment. So here is the start. I want you to, in the chat, rate your symptoms. I want you to take your top two symptoms of list you see listed on the screen here: fatigue, hair loss, brain fog, anxiety, weight gain, and the unrelenting flare-ups. Okay. And what I want you to do is I want you to take the top two And I want you to, from 0 to 10 right now in the chat. Zero is, this is not a problem, but you're going to rate it on a scale of 0 to 10. How problematic is this symptom for you? Take the top two, right? So just, right, like fatigue, 8, anxiety, 7, and throw it in the chat because I want to kind of see what we're dealing with here before we move on to the assessment. That's what we're gonna do next. You guys are gonna do an actual assessment, which is gonna be really cool. I'm gonna get you access to something you can take. So I'm seeing a lot of hair loss. Okay, I'm seeing hair loss, weight gain, brain fog, fatigue. Okay, I'm seeing it kind of across the board. I'm seeing a lot of 8s, 7s, 10s. All right, I'm seeing a lot of high numbers. Everything is a 10, Denise. I got you. I hear you. That's kind of that's kind of why I didn't want everyone to be like, take everyone and give each one a number because I was like, well, everyone could probably do that sometimes, but I want to kind of see what we're dealing with. All right, it's kind of across the board. So weight gain, hair loss, brain fog. I'm seeing all sevens and up. Um, okay, and I get you. I hear you. Okay, so that makes sense. All right, cool. Now, here's what we're gonna have some fun with. All right. Here's what I want you guys to start. Look, you understand stress is a problem with autoimmune disease in general, Hashimoto's. I hope you now understand that there are three levels of stress, right? There's the psychological, the physical, and the metabolic. And one of the things that we can get our hands around right away is the metabolic. All right. So what I want you to do right now, and again, you understand that this is causing it's costing you, right? So here's what we're going to do. We are going to do, these are assessments, literally assessments that I do with my patients. We're going to do one of them with you. I do all of them with my patients, but we're just going to do one today just so you can see how this is affecting you. It's something called the Thrive 9. And it's going to give you it gives you an exact baseline. That's why I do this with my patients like I do all of them, not just the one. We're just going to do the one today. We do these assessments and then it's the way that we can chart progress. So we're just going to do the one today so you can get an idea, but with my patients, we do them and then we do them at regular intervals. So that way we can chart their progress and how their stress, for example, is improving as we're moving along treatment. Okay. So you're going to see your exact stress imbalance score. You're going to see which specific systems are compromised. Okay. And then you're going to see your personal pathway to restoration. You're going to get a roadmap before it becomes irreversible. All right. Here's what I'm going to do right now. So I'm going to let me grab it real quick. I am going to grab uh hang tight one sec. I'm going to grab a link and I'm going to put it in the chat. And it is going to give you access to the Thrive 9 app. And we're going to have some fun. Hope you guys don't mind a little fun. All right. I'm going to throw it in the chat. And here's what we're going to do. Have a little fun. All right. So everybody check out the chat. If you go to that link, okay, you just click on that link. Here's what you're going to see. You're going to see this screen show up, which is the portal. So it's the Thrive 9 portal. Okay. It has all the assessments. You don't need all of them. Okay. If you're a patient of mine, don't bother. You've already done this if you're here. If you're not and you want to do it, cool. At the bottom, see where it says there's a sign in screen. It's like, don't have an account, sign up. So click there and just sign up. You just put in your email address, enter a password, you create your own little account. Okay. There's nothing to do. You're just going to get access to the assessment. Okay. And what's going to happen is you're going to see a bunch of assessments. You're going to see a detox one, blah, blah, blah. Don't worry about all of those. The stress assessment is the one we're going to do. So once you get logged in, if you have any trouble, just let me know. Post it in the chat. But once you get logged in, click on the stress assessment. Okay, you see it right on the screen there, right? So you'll see one that says stress assessment. Click on it, start it. It's literally going to ask you questions. Okay. And then once you answer those questions and you're done, you are going to get a score. Okay. And then once you get that score, I want you to start posting your scores in the chat and let me know. I want to see where we're at. Okay, if anybody has trouble with it, let me know. Post it in the chat. Let me know if you have trouble. What you have to do is click on that link that's in the chat. Should be drraybenedetto.thrive9.life. Let me know if you guys have trouble accessing it, but it's super simple. Sign up, name, email, or email address, password, you're in. All right. Did you click that link, Joan? Should bring you to that page that I just showed you. Should bring you to a login page that looks like that. Your email, sign up, email, password, and then you should be able to sign in with that email and password that you use.
For heaven's sake.
We're gonna give it time. There's no rush. I'm gonna give it a few minutes so that way you guys can do it. And there's no rush. We're literally gonna give you guys like 5-10 minutes to do this. But I want to be here if you guys have trouble with it. Cool. All right. Page is in. I don't know who iPhone it is, but having trouble with password. If you can't get in, it's not the end of the world. If you guys want to do the assessment afterwards, it's not a problem. But it's really cool to do here live because you guys can see what it's like. And then, we can share scores right away. And then, so once you get it, you should get a score. Start posting them in the chat when you get a chance. Lynn, I have patients do this now. So it's in the circle group. You can do it. Shoot me a message, Lynn. I'll get you. Well, it's in the circle group. It's right under, now it's under my, the link to my calendar. So you can do it in there. Cool. So let me know when we start getting some scores. Start posting them in the chat. That'll be fun. All right, cool. Denise was able to get in. No, Cheryl, check in. I just told Lynn, check in. This is brand new. I'm just starting to do these. That me writing all over the screen? How do I get that off there? Oh, well. So right there, sign up. It's always fun. The tech's always fun. All right, iPhone 7. We got a, you were a winner. Winner, winner. First score. 102. Okay, cool. You are the winner, iPhone 7. I don't know how the heck. Sorry, I might have done that. I don't know how all these green marks got on the screen. Sorry. Oh well, guess we're gonna deal with it. The beauty of live television, as they say, right? All right, we got a 127. Jeez, the winner in the barn, right? So yeah, Cheryl, Lynn, like you haven't done these before, but you can now. They're brand new. I actually just made them up. I'm not made them up. I, I've been working really hard on developing them and implementing them with patience. All right, Ann's a 139, Jen's a 125. It's not a race to the top, gang. I'm just joking. And again, if copy this link, right here. Copy this link up in the chat, the Thrive9 app. And if you guys can't do it this minute, it's fine. I don't want anyone to be like, I'm under the gun. Oh my gosh, we're in the middle of this thing and I want to get this done. You can always do it and you can send it to me later. It's not, I don't want you to. Rebecca, 103. Susan, if you can't get it done, don't worry about it. Just message me after the fact. You can even email me. You got my email address. I'll get you the link again if you need it. And you can get it done. Then you can send me over your score. It's fun. I like to do this live because then you guys who can get in, it's fine. After the fact, you guys can still get in and look. Um, but it'll be cool because we're gonna go over like, all right, well, what does this mean? Like, how do I what do these numbers mean? You know, all these lines off the screen. I don't know how they got there in the first place. They're annoying me more than they're probably annoying you guys. All right, cool. 148 for Denise. Jennifer, if you scroll up, well, I'll just post it again. There's the link again, Jennifer. Denise 108, Lisa 89, Paige 110. All right, cool. You guys are getting the hang of it. Again, if you guys don't get it done this minute, it's fine. There's the link. You can do it at any time, and you just create your own password, and then you can send and you or just message me on the side, and we can I can look at your scores after the fact. You can always email them to me. All right. So here's what these numbers mean, gang.
Yeah.
Right? So if we look, okay, here's what these scores mean. You're going to get a total overall score. Okay. And so once your assessment's complete, you're going to get this total score. And we're looking at these 5 different stress response components. Okay. And here's how to interpret what you're seeing. Okay. The score indicates where you're at with your stress systems. That we're not talking about daily stress, like how you're coping with stress. We're talking about how is your body dealing with stress, how your body is actively in a state that is suppressing, most likely, thyroid hormone conversion and escalating the immune activity. Okay. So your scores not just be like, oh my gosh, my score is super high. I must be super stressed, right? Tells you exactly which kind of cortisol dysfunction or adrenal dysfunction is at work. So I'm using these assessments now with patients with their Dutch tests, and we're really putting all the pieces together so we can determine a specific treatment approach. Now, the system recommends, when you do your assessment, it recommends like kind of generic supplements. We don't follow those with everybody. Like I individualize it for everyone. Um, but like for example, if you have a score of A plus B plus C equaling 26, for example, right? Like we see in this in this one here, which is higher than the hypocortisol state. What this means is that your system is flooded, right? Your cortisol is elevated. It's stealing pregnenolone. It's blocking T4 to T3 conversion. It's keeping your immune system in a state of chronic activation. And there's a state of chronic inflammation going on. So we call this the wired but tired pattern, right? High output, zero restoration from a cortisol, from an adrenal standpoint. Okay, so your cortisol pattern in this case, and a lot of you mostly had this, is revealing the exact mechanism that's one of the, well, the, a big one, mechanism that is suppressing your thyroid hormone conversion, triggering autoimmune flares, triggering chronic systemic inflammation. Okay. And this is why, again, this is why you're taking standard thyroid medication. I'm getting standard thyroid treatment. Okay. And it's not helping because it's not addressing the stress component, which is causing the cortisol and the adrenal issues that are suppressing your thyroid function. So treating the thyroid, okay, the hypothyroidism, without treating the cortisol, like mopping the floor and the water's still running. Sounds familiar, right? That's how medicine addresses this problem. It's not going to fix it. Okay. Again, you'll see personalized supplement recommendations. Um, I'm not recommending you go ahead and buy them. But if you want to, go ahead. But what'll happen is it, not on this training anyway. Based on your assessments, you can see the Thrive 9 generates a targeted supplement protocol to match your specific stress pattern. So it'll recommend specific supplements. Okay. They're not generic, but at the same time, I always want to use these recommendations in the context of someone's total presentation. But again, they're not generic, they're generated from your assessment. So this is showing your cortisol pattern. These are some supplements that may help. All right. Here's the thing, guys, to kind of close the loop. Here's why chronic stress, and how your body is dealing with it will affect every system simultaneously, right? It's not just going after one thing, right? Every system in your body, obviously your thyroid, right? Which is going to affect your energy. Chronic stress is going to worsen thyroid function. It's going to block T4, T3 conversion. It's going to slow down your metabolism. It's going to flare up your immune system. It's going to flare up your inflammation. All things we've talked about today. It's going to affect your brain. We talked about this. Cortisol floods the frontal cortex of your brain. It's going to impact decision making, memory, your thoughts, right? Speaking, can't get words out, memory recall, right? Definitely going to affect your sleep, gang. We haven't even barely touched on that today, and we don't have a lot of time to touch on that. Obviously, when your cortisol is a mess, it's going to mess with your sleep architecture, right? So you're sleeping all night and it's not restful. Obviously, it's going to flare your Hashimoto's, right? All the stress spikes it's a new trigger that spikes new immune attacks on your thyroid, compounding the damage with every single episode, which is many times daily. All right. So what do we do about this? Right? We have to fix the system. Okay. Step one, yes, is it important to deal with stressors in our lives? Of course. And these are things that I have to coach my patients on very early on. But almost as important is we have to fix the stressors in someone's body. Okay, it's not just about managing symptoms, it's about rebuilding someone's body that stress has broken down in the right order with the right tools. Okay. Number one, you have to you have to kill what's stressing your body. You have to kill what is activating all the stress. Okay. That's pathogens. That's things like parasites. That's foods. That's inflammatory loads, right? Environmental toxins. These are all things that are stressing your body, flaring up your immune system, flaring inflammation every day. They have to be dealt with. There is no amount of like meditation or stress relieving mechanisms or deep breathing techniques that can deal with the very real stressors to your body every day. Okay. We have to restore hormone balance. We have to balance pregnenolone, DHEA, thyroid hormones, sex hormones. Okay. These are the foundation of energy and mood and metabolism. We have to repair energy production. Got to repair the mitochondria. They get damaged. Cellular energy. Okay. So your body can finally recover. How can we heal if we can't recover? And we have to optimize resilience. The last thing we're going to talk about is genetics. So genetic insights can then prevent future triggers and build up biology, build up your system that handles stress in the future because it's coming. It's not going anywhere. Right, guys? I I don't know about you, but stress in my life ain't going anywhere. Okay? Here's the connection. We talked about the states. Okay? Three biological states. They're all feeding each other. Okay? Your cortisol is most likely dysregulated. Okay? Your cortisol, you probably just saw it on your assessment. Okay, I test this. So I combine the assessments with history, lifestyle, obviously, and Dutch testing. Okay, cortisol directly blocks the conversion of T4 to T3. You're going to gain weight. You're going to lose hair. You're going to be cold all the time. You're going to be exhausted. Even when you're on thyroid medication and your labs look fine, you feel terrible. Okay, if your thyroid is suppressed, you're going to have poor mitochondrial function. It means your energy, there's no energy. You can't recover. Fatigue all the time, brain fog, right? You name it. And it's going to flare your immune system, which is then going to cause chronic systemic inflammation. Your immune system is actively destroying your thyroid tissue, your body in general. Every stressor or every inability to cope with or deal with the stress physiologically sends another wave of immune attacks against you, causing permanent problems. Okay. All of you who are watching this right now, this is happening. You know it, you feel it. Now, I hope you know why. Again, yes, it's important to deal with coping with stress. Step one is we can fix your body, the physiological mechanisms that deal with stress, and the things that are in your body already that are causing stress. Okay. So it's a framework. So if we're going to get lasting recovery from Hashimoto's, we have to address all of these systems simultaneously. Okay. If one fails, it's pulling down the other, right? There's no single one trick pony here. Okay. We need to deal with the biology of stress. Okay. We need to deal with adrenal issues. We need to deal with cortisol imbalances. Okay. We need to deal with gut. We need to deal with inflammation. We have to. There's no way around it. Okay. Then we got to look at hormones. We got to look at blood sugar. We got to look at sex hormones. We got to look at adrenal hormones, obviously. Okay. Then we need to look at genetics. Do you have genes that influence your detox pathways that are going to impair your healing? Okay, this is why, and I have this conversation with patients a lot. You can see this little disclaimer on the bottom. This is why piecemeal approaches most of the time always disappoint. I had someone today, I saw a case earlier today, someone who had dealt with another um, very prominent online functional medicine personality, let's say. You guys all know the name because you've seen the advertising. Um, so I'm not gonna besmirch anyone, but this particular person spent $7,000 to basically get uh, co a round of blood work, which was still not as comprehensive as I run on my patients, and an elimination diet plan and some supplements. And they can check in with a health coach every once in a while if they want. That's not going to fix anything, gang, unfortunately, right? So this is why like doing that kind of thing, or I get patients come all the time and they're like, well, I just want this test. Like I just want the Dutch test. And I'm like, doing the Dutch test by itself is not going to fix anything. Well, I just want the Dutch test. All right, I'll order the Dutch test. Like treating the thyroid alone, treating any one of these things alone without addressing the stress, without addressing the genetics, without addressing gut, without addressing inflammation is, we got all these holes in the dam. We're patching up one at a time, right? So the entire system has to be optimized. I talked about genetics briefly. Huge. I do DNA testing on everyone, right? Because you can have two people with the same genetics, the same diagnosis, completely different outcomes, even with the same treatment, right? They're doing the same diet, they're doing the same supplements, they're doing the same everything, okay? Because the diagnosis is the same. Each person's individual biology is different, okay? So there's genetics we look at, right? These are three big ones that you guys have probably heard of. Okay. These are three genetic variants that can kind of behind the scenes be shaping how your body's handling stress, hormones, cellular energy and inflammation, all that kind of stuff. And you don't even know about this because you've never had these checked. Okay. Many of you have heard about MTHFR. I get it, right? But impaired methylation, which is MTHFR's part of methylation, means that your B vitamin protocols are failing, right? So your doctor's maybe recommending stuff they're working against your biology because they never checked your DNA, right? Something called COMT gene variants. It slows down the clearance of hormones. So you don't clear your hormones very well, so they can accumulate. I see this all the time. Patients that don't metabolize estrogen very well. And I'm like, well, I don't know why this isn't working. Like I'm taking hormones. Well, your body's not getting rid of them. That's the bigger problem, right? Something called SO2, SOD2. There's more than one SOD, but SOD2 variants, obviously that's why it's number two, has to do with mitochondrial dysfunction. So you might have some antioxidant deficiencies, mitochondrial dysfunction. That's why your energy keeps breaking down. And without knowing these things, so without knowing your specific genetics, you're guessing sometimes. Okay. And if we're guessing, we're losing, right? And nobody does this. I do, but nobody else does this. All right. I'm going to wrap it up. Here's the deal. Here's what happens. I do these workshops, and I'm just doing this now because I get a million emails and questions afterwards because I didn't used to do this. And people will be like, "All right, cool. Like, how do we fix this thing? Like, what do we do?" And so, listen, I'm going to invite you, and then we're going to do Q&A. I'm going to invite you to, if you want help, here's help. Okay. There's two ways to do it. There is, and it's a proven framework. Okay. The only difference is like how fast do you want to go, how deep do you want to go, how personalized do you want to go. Okay. Just choose whatever is best for you. Okay. I literally have everything that we talked about today. I literally have a program that you could start today. It's 99 bucks and it walks you through everything we talked about today. So it shows you how to um, deal with the inflammation, fix your gut, deal with stress, do all the assessments. You get a monthly group call with me, it's literally a framework where you can just everything we talked about today, you can do it. Okay. Of course, what also happens because I used to do these here's the progression. I used to do these talks and they would just do Q&A and everyone would be like, "All right, now what? How do I the things you talked about today, how do I actually do them?" And I'd say, "Okay, well, I have this program. It's 99 bucks a month. Awesome. You just follow along." And then and then and then and then a couple more workshops will go by and people will be like, all right, that's awesome, but I want everything. Like I want the labs, I want the genetics, I want everything. I want one-on-one help. I want you, I want, a personalized plan, I want all that stuff. Cool. We can do either one. Okay. You don't have to do either, honestly. I'm gonna invite you if you want help, there's options. Okay. And then we're gonna do Q&A. I'm not gonna belabor, this is not a sales presentation, but I want you guys to know that if you do want help, there's help out there. Okay. Now you got to interact one more time. This is what I want to hear. So if you want to commit to reversing your Hashimoto's, where are you right now? Literally in the chat. Are you exhausted? Like I'm done. I'm cool. Thanks for having me today, but I'm out of here. Like I'm ready. Like sign me up. Let's do this. Or look, I'm skeptical. Like I've tried other stuff. I'm open to talk about more, and it sounds like what you're talking about is real. But I don't even know. So type it in the chat. I don't care either way. Most of you who know me, I'm not going to be offended if you're like, hey, I'm skeptical about what you're talking about today, and or I'm exhausted. Thanks, but no thanks. Um, if you're like, hey, I'm ready, like I don't have a sales team that's going to pounce on you and sell you a $7,000 program. I don't have any of those things. I just want to kind of get a pulse on the group as far as where you're at, and that'll kind of guide me to Q&A as well. Um, so I'd love to hear kind of where you're at. Um, so Laura says he's actually napping after work, exhausted, but so ready. I think I know who you're talking about, Laura. Um, Jennifer, skeptical, ready. Hey, I get it. Look, I get it. Especially if this is the first workshop you've ever had with me. Like you don't even know who I am right now, so that's cool. I get it. Um, those of you who have been in my world for a little while, you know who I am and you know kind of how I operate. I'm sitting in my office right now, my front desk. It's better lighting and internet up here. So those of you who have been with me for a while, you know many times I'm in my office back in the cave in the back of the office, and the internet back there stinks. Um, so thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate that. I'm totally cool with that. I've been doing this a long time, and I get it. Like I know what's out there. Um, I see what you guys see. I see the same programs that you guys see. Again, I talk to you guys after you've been, pitched on 7, 10, $12,000 programs that didn't come through, right? They didn't fulfill um what you were hoping you were going to get. And I get it. I told guys, I understand. I'm serious. Like I understand. I've been doing this a long time. I know what's out there. It's honestly why, you know, it's honestly why I'm not sitting here like, oh, here's my $7,000 program. Sign up or that we're done for today. It's honestly why I have other options for patients because I understand nobody wants that. Not everybody can afford that. People just want help, but they want to be able to do it on their own terms. I get that. I totally get that. Just because I've been doing this for so long and I've seen so many patients and I know what's out there. Look, I see all the same ads you guys do. Trust me, on social media. I do. And I talk to dozens of you guys every week who have been through those pitches, who have been through those programs. I get tons of people who have been through those programs and they come to me and we finally get them fixed because they've been through that, So I get it. And I appreciate you guys chiming in, you know. Again, Jennifer, I appreciate it. And Maria, I appreciate it. Skeptical, I get it. Totally get it. Other health issues, not sure what root cause goes with that. No, I mean, look, that's why there's the options, right? because literally by the time from today you could be like, there's you can do three things. You can be done with this workshop, close it out, and be like, see you later, right? Nothing's gonna change, and that's fine too. You could be like, cool, I'm in. Let me sign up for the program, the $99 program. Let's get started. I need to get this stuff fixed. I need a stress Hashimoto stress recovery. I need a framework. I need something to follow. I gotta do the assessments. Tell me what to eat. Tell me what supplements to take, all that kind of stuff. Or if you want to book a call, that's fine as well. Um, we can do that too. And that's literally, again, anybody who's on here who will tell you those are not sales calls. You will meet with me. Like if you want to book one of those, you meet with me. We do a Zoom. It's 30 minutes. We're doing a deep dive on your case and what you need and where you're at. I'm not selling you high ticket programs or $7,000 things, cookie cutter things. That's not the way it works. But it's a chance for us to like really dig into like your specific case and then build a personalized plan and see what that might look like. And that's it. That's literally it. You know what? Let me post some of those. I'm going to throw the links in the chat. Um, I'm going to throw the link in for the um for the $99 program. The if you guys want to join, you can literally click on that link and just be like, I'm in, let's go. Um, and then we can, if somebody wants a consult, just you can private message me or in the chat, and I can put in there. Not a problem. Uh, so Anne Marie, and then if anybody like, I love the chat. Thank you guys. If anyone has a question and they literally just want to unmute and ask me, let's do it. Or raise your hand. There's like a little raise hand function, I believe, in the React thing. But honestly, I'm pretty laid back. So if anybody has a question, Susan, awesome. But so we'll get awesome. I'll get to Susan in a sec. If anybody has a question, you can raise your hand, or you can just, you can just unmute yourself. I would raise hand is easy because I can do it in order. Uh, but it's not the end of the world. And keep posting in the chat. I'm cool with that too. I'll answer questions as they come. Again, Anne Marie, I get it. So you may want to have a conversation with me, Anne Marie. Um, I get it. Some people, but that again, some people are like, I have a complicated case. I need to have a chat. Cool. Let's do it. There's no charge. I swear to God, I'm not going to sell you anything. I'm not trying to sell you anything. If it works, great. If I can put together a plan for you, great. If not, then we'll figure out what to do. But I get a lot of people that are just like, yeah, I'm in. Cool. Let's do it. I want to sign up. Sign me up for the signature program, 99 bucks a month. Let me just follow along, show me what to do, and I'll do it. Um, Annette listening in for a friend. Stress. Yeah. Okay, good. Well, I hope you enjoyed the info. Cool. Yeah, pass it along. Um, I'm in, had a hard time doing the stress assessment. Sally Ann. Okay, cool. I'll get with you, Sally Ann. I'll get with you to do the assessment. iPhone. Yep, I get it, man. iPhone XR2. Already spent $7,000 and I'm not better. Skeptical. Look, I don't blame you. I do not blame you. And I probably know who you spent $7,000 with. It's probably who exactly I was just talking about earlier, who spent also $7,000 and got literally one set of blood work and a couple of meetings with a health coach and a generic diet plan and supplements. And that's it. And it's a name. It's a big name. I get it, right? I know who the name is. We all know who the name is. Spending a lot of money on social media marketing for, I get it. Please, whoever iPhone XR is, I'm not offended. I completely understand your skepticism. Amy, already a patient, here to learn more, continue my healing journey. I love it. Susan, skeptical and ready. Hey, look, I put the link right in the chat. If you guys want to sign up for the the 6 month program, just do it. Just do it. If you're ready to go, just do it. Even if you're like, hey, I'm ready, but I'm skeptical. You're like, but I want to do something. I want to get started. Just I tell people, look, don't schedule a call with me. Just start in with the $99 program, and you're going to start getting results really quick and you'll be able to chat with me. Anybody who signs up, if you sign up for the $99 program and you're just like, all right, cool, show me what to eat, show me what to do, let me take the assessments, all that kind of stuff, you still get a call with me, a one-on-one appointment with me, and I can like set your path for you and be like, all right, here's what you do. And then we do monthly check-in calls. So there's a monthly group call when you're in that program. You can check in. You can message me through a chat. There's a private community I have with that program, and you can message me through the chat and I'll reply. You can message me 24/7. I'll get back to you within 24, 48 hours, but you can message me directly. I will answer it. But monthly I have a group call, and so you can get your Q&A answered there too, and I can help you kind of navigate the protocol. Um, Anna, ready to do the program, just not ready financially. That's cool. No problem. I'll be here when you're ready. Nancy, patient for yours for many years, already ready to learn more. I love when my patients show up to these things too. They already know most of this stuff, but they still like to show up. So I appreciate you being here, Nancy. Chris, already a patient, trying to learn more. Thank you for doing this. You got it. Uh, Paige, ready, would like to know more about becoming a patient. I've been following you for a while, but watching more recently. I'll drop the link page also for you to schedule an appointment. You can totally set up appointment with me. Um, and we can talk about that. I'll drop that. Let me grab that real quick. Well, I'll do it. I'll do it. What the heck? I'll do it right now. I want to get him. You know what? Let me get the links in there so that they're in the chat. Um, and then I can just, no, I don't want to do that. It's the fun part about working everything by myself. All right. Where'd everybody go? There you are. All right. Oh, no, I wanted to grab that link for everybody. Oh, did I lose my screen? Did you guys lose my screen? Are you seeing my desktop? Well, that's not good. We don't want to watch. I don't want to look at my desktop. How's that? That's better. Oh, I lost my Zoom. All right. We're getting there. We're getting there, gang. One man band, I told you. Oh, wait, I'm still not sharing my screen, am I? Hold on. Help me out here, gang. No, I'm not. All right, there we go. I'm like, why is it going? I'm like, why is it disappear? Why is it disappearing? There we go. Cool. All right. So, Paige, I'm going to post a link in there too. There you go. Those links are in there now. Um, both links are in there. Uh, all right. Paige. So yeah, sorry. Thanks for being here, Paige. Thanks for hanging with me for a while. Thanks for following me. But yeah, book a call. Literally, they are free. I don't charge for them. It's a consult. Like just book a consult with me. Anybody who's I'm like, listen, it doesn't ever cost anything to have a conversation with me. Um, and it's not, I promise you guys, it's not a sales call. Any of my patients who are here will tell you the very first time they met with me, that's not what it was. Like, we're not going to sit down and, go over $7,000 programs on day one. No, no, no. It's a consultation. We're going to sit down. We're going to go over your case. I need you. How do I know if I can help you until we have a conversation? I don't. I mean, if I, like, so we have to have a conversation. I need to go over your case. I need to know what's going on. I need to know if we're like, I need to know if we're this is a good relationship. Like, I need to know. I can't. There's no way I'm going to go to an initial consultation and be like, all right, I can help you. Cool, $7,000. Let's go. That's not the way I work. All right. So I posted the link in their page. Check it out if you want to set up an appointment. That's great. Um, Jennifer, what does it cost to book an initial call? Nothing. There is no charge. Great question. Lynn, already a patient trying to learn more while fighting hard not to relapse due to current stress. So, Lynn, we talked about, so just reach out to me, Lynn, of course, one-on-one, like any of my patients, like any of you who are thinking about being a patient. Um, reach out to me one on one. You get a one on one channel with me and fill out the stress assessment, which is new, Lynn. So I literally just added them. So like last week too, for you too. So you can take that stress assessment, Lynn, um, and um, and you could do it right now. You could go in to um, to the circle group. It's in there. Why am I losing my chat? Where'd my chat go? I should just leave this like minimized too. That way you guys don't care if you see my slides, do you? I put together a presentation for you guys, so I had my thoughts in order. So there you go. Um, Laura, thank you so much. Great. Janine, what does the call cost? Nothing. Doesn't cost anything. It's not, and it's a virtual consult. We do it on Zoom. Um, Shelly, I signed up the other day with full support after a couple of calls and research. Dr. Benedetto, you are the best. Can't wait till our next meeting. Um, and Shelly says, really, there was no charge. So Shelly's a new patient. She just got on board. So I promise I did not plan her nor pay her to say those things. Thanks, Shell. Um, I promise that she's not a plant. Sally Ann, you're welcome. Susan, my situation might be a little more complicated. My cortisol is way too low. That can happen as well. That's the minority, but it can happen. Um, but everyone's situation can be complicated, which is why I just set up the console if you want. Again, everyone's in a different spot. So that's like, I know there's going to be people on here who are just going to be like, I'm ready. Let's go. Sign me up. All right, cool. Here's the link. Let's get started. Other people are going to be like, I need to chat or, my situation is different or I want to see what you have to offer other than that. Cool. Set up a time. We can talk about that. Um, Annette, thank you for your honesty and sharing info. Why do some get Hashimoto's and others don't? Can one heal goiters on thyroid? So it's a slightly longer conversation, but I'll keep it brief. So why do some get Hashimoto's and some don't? So here's the domino effect for Hashimoto's. Genetics, you have to have the genetic predisposition. Okay, we briefly talked about genetics, but you have to have the genetic predisposition in general to get Hashimoto's. Number two, there has to be a breakdown in the immune system, right? The immune system's got to break down. That is almost always, well, it is always, it's not only, but is always leaky gut, right? Leaky gut is the gateway to any autoimmune condition, but Hashimoto's for sure. And then the third step are what we call triggers. People call them root causes nowadays. That's all your environmental factors, your chronic infections, your gut pathogens, your food sensitivities. That's all that kind of stuff. So it's that domino effect. Once all those three dominoes fall, voila, you have Hashimoto's. And now there's really no getting the toothpaste back in the tube, but it's like, okay, now we need to reverse engineer that process so we can figure out what someone's triggers are. Again, stress is a big one. And again, it's physiological stuff too, right? Stressors to the system, like parasites, if you will. Um, and it's fixing their gut, fixing their immune system, and then it's looking at their DNA and dealing with, mitigating DNA issues. Um, Broadly speaking. That's kind of how we approach things. Jennifer, how do we set up a consultation? I posted that link in the chat. It's the big long one that says, bookings, breakthrough strategy session, Dr. Benedetto. If you click on that, you can set a time with me. Um, the other shorter one that says signature plan is just to sign up right away. I'll post those in there so you have them. Um, But yes, Jennifer, if you're looking to set up a consultation, it's like the bigger, longer link here in the chat. I will continue to post them there so that way you can get them. So there's one that says signature plan. That's like, hey, I'm ready to go. Sign me up. I'm in on the 6 month plan. Let's get to work. The other one is to set up a call with me. That's the strategy session. Grace Marie, patient for a while, stress is beyond my control at this time, always a wealth of great information. And guys, it's an ongoing journey. Like I tell patients, you know, and this is again going to sound probably radically different than what you're used to, but I don't sell programs. I don't. I want people to get better. I want to help them. I want to be their partner now and throughout their health journey, right? So everyone out there is selling a program, right? It's $7,000 and here's the nothing that you get. And sorry, did I close that out again? Where'd you go? There we go. It's $7,000 and here's the one round of blood work. I swear, I'm like amazed still. Like this happened today. Like someone sent me their blood work and I'm like, this is the blood work that you got? And a generic diet plan and some supplements and a couple health coach meetings. I'm like, yeesh. And she's like, yeah, I'm kicking myself. I'm like, look, it's all right. Look, I've spent tons of money on stupid stuff too that I didn't know, I didn't realize after the fact, um, in my life, right? We've all done it. But that, I mean, doesn't mean we can't, from today moving forward, we can't do it better. Um, but like I don't sell programs to my patients. I don't sell them like, here's your 6 month program, and when 6 months is up, you're all fixed and we're done. That's not life, right? It's not realistic, right? So Grace right here, she's been a patient for a while. So it's like, okay, we need to go through maybe we need to go through these initial protocols. Yeah, we need to go through this 6 month protocol because we got to do this. We got to fix gut. We got to take care of stress. We got to take care of inflammation. Like we got to take care of pathogens. Like we have to, we got to do all these things, right? We got to balance hormone. Like we have to do all these things over time. But it's not like we get to 6 months and we're done. It's Hashimoto's. It is an autoimmune disease that there is no cure for. You are going to have it forever. So we got to get it figured out. We got to get it treated. We
Okay.
got to get it
Or
better. And then we got to figure out how are we going to manage this lifelong? And then we got to manage it lifelong. Like I'm
what was
married to
the
it.
adage? What is
My wife
that
has it.
next?
Like there is no done. We're not done. We live it every day. It needs to be managed every day. And it can be once you go through the process on figuring out and getting it handled and getting it done. And then it's like, now what do I need to do to keep it that way? And Grace will attest, like, gosh, she probably started with me 2 or 3 years ago at least, right? And she's here today, and she knows I am just a message away to this day that she can just reach out and message me, email me, private message me, and I'll get together with her and we'll regroup if we need to, on whatever it is. She's posting on here. I don't know what it is, but hopefully after today she'll reach out to me if she needs me. Jennifer, remind me the education functional medicine doctors go through again. This isn't to be rude, just curious. Oh no, look, so Jennifer, it's a great question because it's the Wild West. It is the Wild West out there when it comes to functional medicine. Um, there really is no standardized training. That's the problem, right? Like you can take a couple of weekend nutrition courses and you could be like, oh, I'm a functional medicine doctor. You got MDs out there that have been practicing traditional, like medical allopathic medicine their whole life. And they're like, they take a couple of nutrition courses and they start doing some hormone therapy. And they're like, oh, I'm a functional doctor. And they're really not, right? If someone's not, here's the quick, easy litmus test, honestly. There is no standardized, there is really good functional medicine education training out there. Okay. It's not standardized. And someone could say they're a functional medicine doctor and they took a weekend course on, hormone replacement. And they're just trying to attack that market, right? Or they're trying to sell supplements or they're selling programs, like generic programs, like we're talking about today. Here's the litmus test. Is someone really addressing root causes? Are they looking at gut? Are they looking at pathogens? Are they looking at hormones? Are they really DNA? Like, are they really on this one individual person digging in and looking at their root causes? Or are they applying a generic program to everyone? Okay. Or Are they applying band-aids? Are they using medications, of course, but are they using supplements? Are they using hormones? Are they using something to treat the symptom or the nutrient deficiency that they found on a test or the food sensitivity they found on the test? Or are they really looking at the whole person and really digging in on the root causes? That's legit functional medicine. Get into the root of every single person and develop a personalized plan for them, right? We're talking about a $7,000 program with a round of blood tests, cookie cutter dietary stuff, and supplements. Everyone gets the same thing. That's not functional medicine. That's an assembly line. And that's a lot of marketing and that's good sales. Okay. That's not functional medicine. That is not helping people. I'm sure, look, sorry. I'm sure it's helping people. I'm sure it's helping people. That's not functional medicine. Not as I see it. That's not root cause stuff. That's not digging in and figuring out people's root causes and individualizing a plan to help get them well and get where they want to be. Sorry, Jennifer. And all of you guys, I get a little long-winded and I get a little passionate sometimes. I'm in the trenches and all the questions you're asking are valid questions. I see all the same stuff that you guys see, and I get it. And I speak to you guys all day, every day. I know what you've been through. I know the programs you've been through. I know what you've been doing. I know who the people are out there running all these ads, selling all these programs. I get it. We're not going to talk names here, but I get it. You guys all know who we're talking about. All right, Susan. Um, I meant to say I would like a console and sign me up, please. Oh, what? Those are two different things. So if you want to get on board with the 6 month, the $99 a month program, let's go. Like you'll get plugged in. Here's the dietary protocol I recommend for my patients. Now it's all self-guided. Like I'm not going to do it with you one-on-one, but it's all mapped out. Like here's what you do, here's what you do next, here's what you do here, here's what assessment you take. Take this assessment, all that kind of stuff. Um, here's some foundational supplements, and then you can chat with me if you want. We have a monthly group call. You can join in Q&A. I'll help you any way you want. Um, a consult, if you want a consult, that's a one-on-one consult with me directly. So after today, and I still don't charge for that, but it's a one-time consult. We'll sit down, we'll talk, we'll go over your case. If you're like, all right, cool, like put something together for me. I want to see what it looks like to work with you. Cool, we'll do that. If you're like, all right, thanks for the time. I'll let you know if I need you. Awesome. Also cool. If you say, okay, cool, thanks for the time, you know, I want to get signed up for the $99 a month program and just start it, and then I'll let you know if I need you. Cool, we can do that too. Any and all of the above. So there's links in the chat. Um, all right, cool. Bye, Annette. Thank you. Jeanette said thanks. Great info. Got to sign off. And again, guys, I'll stay. If you have questions, I'll stay. But don't feel like you have to stay. But I will stay if you guys have questions. Um, keep posting them in the comments in the chat, or just unmute yourself. If you guys want to talk, just unmute yourself. Um, there's links in the chat. There's one that says signature plan. If you're ready to go and you want to sign up for that, great. If not, you can schedule a consult. That link is in there as well. So you can see the link right there. Breakthrough strategy session. If you guys want to set up a consult, do it. I forget who was asking earlier. Paige, if you want to set one up, you can do one there. Um, Jennifer, if you want to set one up, you can set one up there. Just click on that link. It'll take you right to my calendar. You can pick a time that works for you. Um, and we'll chat. And you'll get Jennifer, thanks for your time. Yeah, you're welcome, Jennifer. I'd love to chat. So yeah, go for it. The link's right there. Sign up for a consult. Um, and again, you will meet with me. There's no like, I don't have like sales team or health coaches or anything like that. You will meet with me. I will email you, confirmations. I will actually text message you from my personal cell phone a confirmation. So you'll have my cell phone number too as a reminder. So if someone schedules a consult, I'm going to be there. I want them to be there. So questions, keep them coming. Who's got questions? Unmute yourself. Um, or post it in the chat. Janine, I joined late. Can I watch from the beginning? Yeah, I will send out. So anybody who registers and joins, of course, obviously you guys are all here. I will send out a replay. I'll send it out tomorrow morning. Um, because tonight I'll have to get the video all ready. It'll have to get rendered. I'll have to download it. I still upload it to YouTube, but I set it as a private link so that way you guys can access it. I'll edit out the little bit of beginning stuff. So you guys will get access to the replay as my long-winded, short-winded answer. So yes, Janine, you will get a copy of the replay. Lori gets up from a nap, waiting for labs, and we'll get him signed up. He said he felt best on that carnivore. Okay. Yeah, Laura. So yeah, grab these links. Grab the links. There's two of them. Um, again, if anybody's ready to go and they're like, cool, let's do it. There's the you can sign right up for the 6 month program and you will get immediate access. So if you're like, I don't really want a console, I just want to like get started, like I want to, I'm not really sure. Um, uh, you know, I'm not even gonna bother with the console. I just want 99 bucks. I can do that. I want to get started. Show me what to eat. Show me what not to eat. Let me take the assessments. Let me get into the ecosystem. Let me get kind of ramped up, and I'll have an initial call with you, and you can kind of guide me on what to do next. Cool. Do that. You will get immediate access um, to the signature plan. So, um, someone signs up, they get the emails right away. Like I have the emails all set up to go. Like once you sign up, you'll get an email with the link to schedule a consult with me. You will get immediate access to the assessments. You've already done the stress assessment, or if you haven't, you'll get to do it again. And you can do there's other assessments that I recommend at different intervals. So you'll do, for example, the stress assessment, and there's a women's hormone assessment. There's a gut assessment, but that won't be until like month 2 or month 3. I can't remember where I put that one, but you'll get a sequence of like you do the assessments, you'll get immediate access to like, okay, here's the coursework. I'll walk you through it, all that kind of stuff. Um, and and it's right there. So Paige sent myself the link to book a consult. We're gonna wait about 3 weeks to. Yeah, that's fine. I think you can schedule. I think I allow like up to 2 or 3 weeks out. You can book in my calendar page. So, but yeah, hang on to the link when you're ready. Just schedule with me. If you ever have any questions, just message me. I'm not hard to find. Um, Janine, do you discuss the difference between TPO and TGA? I'm assuming you mean thyroglobulin antibodies. So those are the two antibodies, obviously, for Hashimoto's. TPO and TGA. So TPO, it's really just what part of someone's thyroid physiology is being affected. So TPO stands for thyroid peroxidase, TPO. So thyroid peroxidase antibodies. So TPO is an enzyme. Okay, and it's an enzyme that functions in your thyroid to produce thyroid hormones. Okay, so the thyroid peroxidase is the enzyme that takes all the raw materials of what some of which being pregnenolone and iodine and all these different raw materials that we take to make thyroid hormones. The TPO takes all those raw materials and packages them again up to make thyroid hormones, to make T4, T3, mostly T4. So that's the enzyme that makes thyroid hormones, let's say. So a TPO antibody is an antibody that your immune system makes to attack that enzyme. Okay, so it's damaging, attacking that enzyme and damaging it, so you can't produce thyroid hormones, right? And in the process, the thyroid, where does this happen? Happens in the thyroid, right? So thyroid tissue gets damaged in the crosshairs because that's where the immune attacks are taking place. Thyroglobulin antibodies, and if either one of them are elevated, it's a positive diagnosis for Hashimoto's. If both are elevated, obviously, but if either one are elevated, um, then it's a positive diagnosis. Now, you can have both elevated, obviously. TGA or thyroglobulin antibodies. Thyroglobulin is a protein. It's a carrier protein. Okay. And what it does is it carries thyroid hormones in the blood. Okay. It's like a taxi cab. I'm dating myself. It's like an Uber. So thyroglobulin is a protein that carries the hormones around in the blood for conversion to the target tissue, you name it. So TG antibodies or thyroglobulin antibodies are what's being attacked. So the thyroglobulin is what's being attacked by thyroglobulin antibodies. So it's just different parts of your thyroid physiology that are being attacked that affect the thyroid tissue itself, the production of the thyroid hormones, and the transport and the delivery of the thyroid hormones. So either one is affected. Um, should the antibodies be treated differently? I have high TGA and not high TPO. No, the treatment for all it's indicating, generally speaking, the treatment for Hashimoto's is figure out someone's root causes. What is causing their immune system to attack them? And simultaneously putting a plan in place to stop those things. Generally speaking, that's treatment for Hashimoto's. The TPO, it's not like there's a different treatment if it's TPO versus TGA. Hope that makes sense. The antibody levels simply indicate this is happening. There's an autoimmune disease. It's affecting someone's thyroid function, someone's thyroid physiology, or someone's thyroid tissue itself. It tells the practitioner there's an autoimmune disease going on here affecting the thyroid. Look, here's the deal. Autoimmune disease affects someone systemically. It's not just affecting the thyroid. If it's affecting the thyroid, it's affecting your whole body. That's what we're talking about today is stress, right? The autoimmune disease, the Hashimoto's is it's a two-way street. It's going to affect how your body deals with stress, but stress, either psychological, physical, or metabolic, is also going to affect your immune system. It's going to affect the Hashimoto's. That's the huge part of today's talk is stress has to be almost dealt with first. It's one of the first things that I deal with my patients. It's why we took the stress assessment today. It's why one of the first assessments my patients take is a stress assessment because we, it's stress, inflammation, and gut. Those are the first three things must be addressed, whether someone does an individualized program, whether they do the 6 month program, it's built into both of them. We must deal with those things first. Stress is the ultimate roadblock. It is the ultimate gasoline on the fire. Inflammation is a really close second, and gut is involved in both of those. So those three things have to be fixed. That is the foundation. There is nothing else to do first, right? So earlier when I talk about like piecemealing stuff, right? And this is what a lot of functional medicine doctors do. You go to them. All right, let's run like a ton of blood work. Let's do food sensitivity testing. Let's do all this testing, right? And then they just piecemeal and address the things that they find on there without taking care of the fundamentals, like dealing with stress, dealing with gut, dealing with inflammation. Because those three things are the roadblock to everything. You cannot fix anything until you fix those things. So we must fix those things. That's really all there is to it. Like I said, I had a patient last month and they were adamant. They were like, I want to do a Dutch test first before we do anything else. I said, it's a waste of your money. It's $300. It's a waste of your money. It's a waste of your time because I don't care what we find on that test. I don't care what we look at your hormones. Yes, we look at adrenals on that test, but I don't care what we see in your hormones or what we see in your mitochondrial function. Like, it's not going to change anything. We must do these things. Yeah, we can do a Dutch test right away, but we still have to we have to fix these things first before we would mess with your hormones or do anything like that. And the test came back and she was like, okay, now what? And I'm like, guess what? We didn't do it in the right order. I'm like, you paid for the test. You wanted the test. I'll go over the test with you. I don't like doing that. I'll never do that. She was like, I'm doing the test. Give me the test. Okay. I like, all right. I'm trying to help you. I kind of know what I'm doing here. Like I'm trying to show you the path. Um, but like a Dutch test, a food sensitivity test, I don't care what it is, in a vacuum doesn't do anything. It doesn't help us treat someone. We still have to do the fundamentals along with those things. And that's kind of what we're talking about today is stress is gigantic. Yes, we need to deal with it from a coping lifestyle mechanism, but we also need to deal with it from a physiological mechanism. So, yes, we got to look at cortisol. We got to deal with things like pathogens, like parasites. We got to deal with inflammation. We got to deal with leaky gut because these are things that are all stressing the system, stressing your body, stressing your immune system, and we cannot make any progress until we put that fire out first. I hope that makes sense. I cannot bang that drum enough. There is a method to the madness, and there's a reason why I do things in the order I do them with patients. We can't jump right to Lyme disease or Epstein-Barr virus or food sensitivities or hormones on a Dutch test until we do this, this, and this first. Stress, dealing with stress, both from a lifestyle standpoint and from a metabolic, physiological standpoint, first must be done. You cannot get to step five until you do step one. I hope anybody who is listening to the sound of my voice right now understands that. And it's the reason why I do things the way I do on an individual basis with patients, like one on one. And it is entirely the reason why I built out the 6 month program. Look, my patients who are working with me one on one still get access to the same 6 month program because that still lines out the steps. Now, if you just do the 6 month program, the $99 program, you're doing it DIY. Like you're doing it on your own, and you can check in with me once a month on a group call if you have questions. If you work with me one on one, we're still doing the same plan, the same framework, the same structure, and the same steps, but I'm walking you through it individually, and we have all the testing to individualize your care to you over time as we go through that framework. And we personalize everything along the way, right? We make tweaks when we need to make tweaks and all that kind of stuff. That's the difference. The framework is the same. I don't want to say it's the same, but the framework is similar. If you're doing the $99 plan, cool, do it. This is the steps you need to take, and this is the order in which you need to do it in. We can monitor through the assessments, all that kind of stuff. If you want to do a personalized plan with me, we're following that framework, and then we're putting it on steroids because we're doing testing, and you're getting one-on-one with me, and we're taking that framework, and then it's like a blacksmith, right? So we're taking this framework, and then we're like banging this thing, and we're molding it, and we're making it into you over that 6 months. It's much more intensive. And then we're building out a personalized plan for you lifelong for remission. That's the goal. A lot of babbling from me. Sorry. Questions? Who's got more questions? I'm here. You got me. I'm in the office. There's no one here. I got my water. Getting dry, but I'm here. Who's got more questions? Pop them in a chat. Rate, just unmute yourself. And if not, we'll wrap it up. Real quick, where's everyone? I'm in Pennsylvania. Where's everyone from? Do we have like I still see some daylight. We got to have some West Coasters in here. Um, New Jersey, Paige, you're in Jersey? No, get out of here. Where from? So you're near me then. So I'm in Pennsylvania, obviously. Laura's in Florida. I knew that, Laura. Um, Janine, North Carolina. Cool. All right, so we got mostly East Coasters here. Paige, so I'm originally from New Jersey. Paige, where are you at? Now I'm curious. I mean, I guess you don't have to, London, Canada. All right, cool, cool. From London, hey. Utica, cool. So I went to, so my wife and I met. We went to school in upstate New York. So we had plenty of Canadians in our class, to be honest with you. And it was in Seneca Falls, so it was a little north of Utica. Nancy's in PA, yeah, representing the PA. I'm in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, which is about an hour north of Philadelphia. So I'm like kind of near the New Jersey border, and I'm originally from New Jersey, Paige. That's the only reason I'm curious. I grew up in Morris County, actually. I grew up in Butler, New Jersey, which is in Morris County. Um, and oh, Manahawkin. All right, cool. LBI, yes, you're not far from me. I'm in Bethlehem. I'm just out 78. Um, but yeah, I grew up in Morris County. I went to high school up there, and then I came to college in PA, and my wife's from PA, and we stayed in PA, and so I've been in Pennsylvania ever since. Grew up in Virginia. Cool, nice. A lot of East Coasters. I saw some daylight in someone. I think it was Selma. I saw some daylight, a lot of daylight out there, so I figured someone was West Coast. So a lot of times I'll just ask that when we start. I'm like, hey, where's everyone from? So I know how late I can go. Some people are like, oh, I'm in UK. I'm like, oh, it's like 5 a.m. Um, or actually, I just recently learned there's a time zone east of the United States in Canada. It's Atlantic, the Atlantic time zone. So that's when I just met. They're in Atlantic Canada. I'm like, what's that mean? They're like, I'm in the Atlantic time zone. Like I'm actually east of the Eastern time zone. So cool. All right. Well, I'm glad you guys were all here today. Any more questions? If not, we'll wrap it up. I am here for you guys. So if you have questions, I'll answer them. If not, I hope this was helpful today for you guys. And all right, I knew Janine would throw one in there. She's my question asker. I love it. So does bioidentical T3 and T4 really help you if your TGA antibodies are off and not your TPO antibodies? The answer is probably no. So T3 and T4 supplementation or hormones is probably not going to help you much. If you have Hashimoto's, it's really not going to help much at all. I mean, it might be a band-aid to help give you some temporary symptom relief. Um, and it might make your labs look good, like your blood work look good, but it's not fixing anything. So that doesn't mean somebody might not need them. Patients with Hashimoto's, people with Hashimoto's, many will need some hormone replacement because their thyroid can't make enough of them on their own, right? But it's not fixing the problem, right? So it's not fixing the problem. So the short answer to your question is, does bioidentical T3 and T4 help? Probably not. If you got Hashimoto's, you got to fix the Hashimoto's with which is kind of everything we talked about today. And the hormone replacement is pretty much not going to do anything except maybe make your labs look normal. Laura, something other than Levo as a band-aid. I mean, look, so I don't prescribe. That's one thing I do not do. I do not prescribe medications. So technically, I'm not supposed to comment, but I will. Um, most of my patients and people who aren't my patients, just who I talk to in consultations and stuff, they do better. Typically, they feel better with a natural alternative. Now, it can be a challenge to get sometimes, like Armor or NP thyroid, um, that kind of stuff. The Levos, the Synthroids, they're synthetic. The Tyrosint is the newer one that's a little more clean. It has less fillers, all that kind of stuff. Um, it just depends on what works best for the person. But most of my patients and or people I speak with, even just in consultations who don't become my patients, um, they do feel better. And people on my Facebook group and all this kind of stuff, they do feel better. They'll comment that they feel better on the more natural alternatives. But again, someone might need to be on them. I get it. But back to Janine's point, like they're really not fixing the problem. They're not fixing the Hashimoto's. And that's what it comes down to. Is if we really want to get our arms around this thing, it's it's dealing with the autoimmunity. That is the underlying root cause. And then that's the cascade from there, right? So that's dealing with the stress, it's dealing with the inflammation, it's dealing with the gut, it's testing for underlying causes. Do I have hormone imbalances? Do I have parasites? All everything that comes with it. Um, Janine, thoughts on bioidentical hormones? I need bioidentical hormones of what? Like bioidentical sex hormones, bioidentical thyroid hormones. Um, Susan, I originally had hyperactive thyroid 25 years ago. Then they used radioactive iodine. Okay, so they whacked it with. radioactive iodine. They killed it off. And I became hypothyroid, of course. So you've been autoimmune since then, right? So autoimmune hyperthyroid is Graves. Autoimmune thyroid's autoimmune thyroid. Yours went hyper. And so then they nuke it. And then, of course, now you're medically induced hypothyroidism, right? Now you're hypothyroid the rest of your life because they killed your thyroid. Um, I'm on natural thyroid for the last year versus synthetic. Will I always suffer? No, you don't always have to suffer, but you have to fix the autoimmunity. So you still have an autoimmune disease that affects your thyroid. That is the problem, right? So the start of it was autoimmune disease. Your immune system was attacking your thyroid. It made it go hyperthyroid, Graves' disease, right? So they nuked your thyroid. So your thyroid's dead. What is still there? The autoimmune disease. Your immune system is still attacking you. Getting rid of the thyroid does nothing to stop the autoimmunity. I get this same question all the time with people who had their thyroid removed. My analogy is you have you're in elementary school, you get this kid that the bully picks on every day and takes his lunch money, right? He beats up on him every day, takes his lunch money. That's the thyroid, right? Your immune system's the bully. So the kid who gets his lunch money stolen every day, his family gets up and moves out of town. Well, the bully's still got to eat, right? So that weaker kid's not there to pick on anymore. So the bully's going to go look on some for someone else to pick on because he's got to eat lunch. He needs lunch money. So it doesn't stop the autoimmune attacks. It doesn't stop the bully. It just takes the victim out of the equation. Well, the bully's still got to eat. So the immune system's going to just go attacking other places. The key is punching the bully in the mouth, and that's taking care of the autoimmune disease. So unfortunately, Susan, I don't want to pile on and be like, yeah, you're going to suffer for the rest of your life. You don't have to. You will if you don't take care of the root cause of the problem, which is the autoimmunity. The autoimmunity is the problem. You got to punch that bully in the mouth and then you don't have to suffer. It's going to take work, takes time, it takes all the things we're talking about today, but you don't have to suffer. Janine, thyroid, bioidentical thyroids. I don't know how much more you want me to comment on bioidentical thyroid hormones. Um, I think I already did. If you need me to clarify more, Janine, just let me know. Chris, you said earlier you had to do three things first. I think stress, inflammation, and gut. Yeah, yeah. So those are foundational, right? We have to take care of things that are stressing your body, stressing your immune system. One of which is chronic systemic inflammation, and one of which is leaky gut. So, and then a close second is pathogens. So like parasites and all that kind of stuff. So we have to take care of inflammation. We have to take care of stress. We have to take care of gut. Imperative, right? So I start patients with a 6 month program. The first 2 months is taking care of inflammation, taking care of stress, getting ready and starting to get ready on gut. And then month three is like diving in hardcore on gut and then taking care of like sleep and all that kind of jazz. So yes, that's correct, Chris. Uh, iPhone XR2. Well, that sounds fun. It's like a Star Wars droid. I'm, I'm dating myself, but big Star Wars guy. The first Star Wars, like the first three Star Wars, like R2D2 stuff. So iPhone XR2, I like that one. My endo tells me my thyroid is gone. I've been on thyroid meds since 19 years old and currently 69. I have no idea how I made it this far. Well, God bless iPhone XR2. It's going to be the new droid on the new Star Wars. Well, God bless you for making it this far. And thanks for being here today. I don't know how they know your thyroid is gone. I mean, you can see this on, ultrasounds. They can, or scans. They can measure your, how much tissue is left. They can see that. Um, but yeah, God bless. And thanks for being here. I'm glad you're here. I am glad you are here. I don't know how they can know that, again, your thyroid's gone, but, um, and again, it might be. It might be if you've had Hashimoto's for that long, it's very possible that, there's been so much tissue damage done that there's just not a lot left. Um, and the reality is by the time most people get to me, that's where they're at. Like they've had just too much tissue damage done. They can't make enough hormones on their own anyway. Janine, is this hereditary? What can I do to protect my kids? So I don't want to say look, everything's hereditary. Is there a genetic predisposition? 100%. Um, is it a guarantee? No, but it significantly increases the predisposition of children getting an autoimmune disease if their parents have one, right? So, and again, it's something that we live. I have three children, 18, 15, and 12. We obviously live a lifestyle that we're trying to do with ourselves and with them, that we do everything we can to try and prevent the development of something because they have a genetic predisposition. My wife has had asthma her entire life, and she has Hashimoto's. And so we all have this. Here's the thing. When we talk about genes and genetics, and I look at DNA in all my patients, we talked about it today. I love looking at DNA because um, we can find some really cool things in there that we can't fix, but we can deal with, right? And that are contributing underlying root causes to someone's autoimmune problem, Hashimoto's. Here's the deal with genetics. People think they're doomed to genetics, and you're not. Okay, you are not. The field today is something called epigenetics. It's how you can take your genes and turn them on, turn them off, turn the volume up, turn the volume down on genetic expression. Okay. With lifestyle and environment, right? So dealing with your environment, how your environment influences your body and activates and influences your genetics, and how your lifestyle does the same thing. Things that we do to ourselves and things that happen to us. Not all of it's in our control, right? But that's epigenetics. And that's why we look at DNA, and that's why we deal with DNA, is we want to look at things that we can address that will move that needle. Okay. Now, um, here's the analogy. And I did not come up with this analogy. I wish I did. I think it was Mark Hyman, some other big, like, functional medicine MD who's written a bunch of books and all this kind of stuff and sells, ketchup or whatever. Although I think that was Sisson. Sorry, that's Mark Sisson. Mark Hyman. Um, Sisson is Primal Kitchen. Um, Mark Hyman is, look, we're all born with the loaded genetic gun, right? We're all born with genes that could be a problem, myself included, right? It is the lifestyle and the environment that pulls the trigger on those genes, right? So just because someone has a loaded gun doesn't mean that trigger has to get pulled. There are things that can be done to keep that trigger from being pulled, right? Now, if we're older and look, the bullet's already out of the chamber, okay, we can catch that bullet and try and shove it back in at least a little bit, right? It's like the toothpaste in the tube analogy. So we can't completely shut that door again, but we can take the knob, the volume knob. Again, now I'm dating myself, although I think everyone here looks like around my age at least. Um, right, the hi-fi, right? That used to be the coolest thing you had in your house was like the stereo system, right? It still had knobs on it. Um, CD players and record players and all that fun stuff. Um, so we can take the volume knob on the DNA and turn it from 10 down to like 2, you know? So we can influence our genetics and we can turn down the volume on them by correcting those environmental lifestyle triggers, which is kind of everything we're talking about today as well. So, Janine, you are the winner tonight for triggering out of me the longest-winded answers I could give. I want to make sure you guys like, and I love questions. I love questions. Look, I'm still sitting here answering questions. I will sit here and answer questions as long as you have them. Doctors hate questions. I get it. Every other doctor on the planet hates questions. First of all, you only get 5 minutes with them. And second of all, they don't have answers for your questions. That's why. Or they don't want to answer your questions. They just want to give you a pill and move on about their day. Um, but I love questions. I love questions. I will answer questions till the sun comes up tomorrow morning if you want. Um, I love questions, and sometimes I do get a little long-winded. I apologize. Um, Laura, appreciated. Janine, thank you. Very helpful. You're very welcome, Janine. Can I expand on the leaky gut repair? Oh, Laura, I knew you were gonna. I should have known you were gonna go there. Um, I don't have enough time for that one. We will be here all night. So, um, those of you who might not know, and Laura, I'm doing this tomorrow. Um, those of you who maybe are new to my world, I have a Facebook group I've run forever. If you want to join it, check it out. It's called Rapid Thyroid Relief. You can just search my name out. You'll find it on Facebook. I've run it for years, lots of years. Laura, I know you're there, but I don't know if everybody else is there. Um, Literally tomorrow. So I do a live stream every Thursday inside the group there. I do a live stream every Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern, literally every week, where I teach and then I do Q&A. And tomorrow we're talking leaky gut. So we're talking what causes it, how to treat it, all that kind of stuff. So Laura, I will expand on it. And again, kind of like tonight, those are all recorded. So if you're in that Facebook group, I do them live and then they're automatically recorded. So they just populate right in the Facebook group. So um, if you're not in the group, you don't have to join. It's fine. Just message me and make sure I get you the recording on it. But I'm not going to do it tonight because I'm going to do it tomorrow for like 30 minutes and I'll record that. And then if anybody, that's a whole separate topic. Um, so, so yes, Laura, stay tuned. Um, Janine, I've been trying to figure this out on my own for 3 years. 3 years, girl, that's way too long. At least get started with the 6 month plan and we'll start figuring it out right away. I mean, if you want to set up a consult, great. If you don't want to do either, that's fine. But I mean, 3 years is a long time. Like, there's no need to figure it out on your own. Um, it's honestly why I have different options because some people are like, I want one-on-one with you. Let's chat. Like, let's do this. It's been too long. I've been figuring this out on my own for 3 years. I need some help. Other people are like, I've been trying to figure this out for 3 years. I just need some direction. Like, get me started. So I'm like, all right, cool. Start with the $99 program, and that'll get you started, and then we can go from there, you know? Um, so, but hop on board, Janine. There's no need to. It's kind of one of the reasons why, the $99 program is new. I just rolled it out. Like I never had it before. But I kind of did it for people because they're like, I've been suffering for 3 years. Like I don't have seven, I don't charge $7,000 by any, I'm not even close to that. But like they meet with these other people and they're like, I met with this guy, I met with that guy. I don't have $7,000. I don't have $10,000 for this cookie cutter program, but like I need help. I don't even know where to get started. Like point me in the right direction. And I was like, look, I get it. Totally get it. So start here and it's affordable and it'll get you where you want to go, you know? So it's $99 a month, Janine. And it's a 6 month program to start. So so if you want in, it's $99 a month for literally 6 months. But it walks you through everything we're talking about today. And if you check out that signature plan link, it's right there. It's like where to sign up. But everything we talked about today over 6 months, it walks you through what to do. So like here's how to do the elimination diet. How to take the stress assessments. Here's what supplement to take just to get to work on the gut. And here's how we're going to figure out parasites. And like it takes you step by step on how to fix the stress, how to fix the gut, how to fix the inflammation. Like all the things we're talking about tonight, it walks you through it step by step. You just follow along and then um, you get access to like a private chat so you can message me if you have questions or you need help along the way. Once a month, I have a group call like inside the group, like anyone can join. I'm there for a Q&A once a month. You can ask me questions or get guidance on the protocol or what you need. Um, and it's 99 bucks a month. It's not $7,000. Um, and I hate to keep harping on that. Again, I know, I'm sure they're helping people, but it's not realistic for a lot of people. I get it. I totally get it. Even people who work with me one on one, it's like a fraction of that, literally. Because I think that's a little ridiculous. I think honestly, 7, 10, $12,000, whatever you're seeing out there or you've come across is is I'm trying to put this nicely, is uh unfair. I don't I don't want to be mean. I don't want to say nasty things, but like for a round of blood work and a cookie cutter elimination diet and take these supplements and meet with a health coach once a month is ridiculous. I think that's absurd. And it's not where I live. It's not what I do, you know. Like I said, I work look, I'll be honest with you guys. Like you'll see, like go to my website, like I have all listed on there, like the services that I provide, you know. And if somebody wants like a one-on-one program, you know, it's to get started, it's 3,500 bucks. But 3,000 of that is one time. It's a one-time fee. And that covers all of your testing, it covers retesting, like it covers all the stuff we have to do. And then there's just a monthly fee after that. That's it. Like it's not $7,000 for a 6 month program and we're done and you don't get any help and you don't get any guidance, you know. It's a fraction of that. And it includes all of your testing and your retesting and all of my one-on-one services. My patients get my private cell phone number, they get one-on-one appointments with me. Like, you know, I try and keep things as reasonable as possible and affordable, and but still get the job done, you know. I think I think that's a little crazy. So, but again, I was like, all right, well, if you can't do that, that's fine. Just do the 6 month program at 99 bucks a month. Most people can afford that. And it's like, I'll still help you and you'll still get better. And you'll still get these things handled that we're talking about. You'll still deal with stress, gut, inflammation, like all the stuff that I'm talking about, you'll still get handled and you'll still get better. And then down the road, if you're like, cool, I want some more help, I want to do the testing and I want to add those. All right, great, we could talk about that. But people don't, when people get to me, it's not like it's $10,000 my way or the highway. It's not the way it works. I've been doing this way too long, seen way too many people. I try and meet everyone where they're at and help them what they want and what they need. I tell people all the time, look, if you can afford my highest level services, do it. That's going to get you the best results. If it's not in the budget right now, don't worry about it. Let's start here. We will get you better here. But let's do something. Let's not doing nothing is not going to help, right? It's only going to continue. We're only going to be like Janine, right? It's going to be like I'm now 3 years from now, I'm 3 years worse, nothing changed, you know? Yeah. And I get you, right? I see your comment there, Janine, like it's not realistic, which is why I'm doing it on my own. Yeah, 7 grand for a cookie cutter program and some supplements and one round of blood tests is not it's not that it's not even not realistic. I don't care if you got it to burn. It's it's not gonna get the job done. So, like, okay, even if I'm Bill Gates, like, like, why am I going to spend $7,000 on something that's not going to get the job done? I don't care if it's $7. Like, it's not going to do the job. So why am I going to even pay it? You know? But look, they spend a lot of money on marketing. They got a lot of people doing sales for them, and there's a lot of people out there suffering, right? I get it. You guys are suffering, and people want help. I get it. I totally get it. Um, Susan, will our hair grow back once we're healed? So, hair loss is a symptom, right, of Hashimoto's. Just like the weight gain, just like the fatigue. Now, hair loss and hair regrowth is a longer term deal. It takes a long, so kind of the short answer is yes. The longer answer is it takes a long time to get the hair loss to stop, and then it takes a long time to get it to heal. So that's like months and years sometimes, Susan. So things like fatigue, things like the weight, like losing weight and joint pains and body aches and the fatigue, like those things will usually improve sleep and mood. Those things usually improve much more quickly. Hair loss is a long-term proposition. I'm just going to be honest with you, because usually what started the hair loss or triggered the hair loss started a long time ago. So it takes a long time to get things fixed to stop it from falling out and then to get it to regrow. So that's on the agenda, Susan, but that's 6, 12, maybe years, months and maybe years. 6, 12 months. Not 6, 12 years. 6, 12 months, maybe years. Just takes time. to get everything dialed in. Laura, it is absurd, truly. I get it, guys. And I don't want this to be like a bang on other people um fest. I don't want that to come off that way, guys. But I want you to understand, like, I get it. Like I'm not, this is not my first rodeo. I see what's out there. I know what's out there. I know what you guys have access to. I know the medical world is useless. They're not even in the equation. Like the mainstream medicine in this country is absolutely useless when it comes to thyroid conditions in general, Hashimoto's, forget it, right? And then so you get into the natural world, and there's a lot of snake oil, and there's a lot of people out there preying on people. I get it. Um, that is not me. Guaranteed, my $99 6-month program will probably get you better and get you further down the path than that $7,000 program that, that guy spending a lot of money on social media is selling a lot of people into. I can almost guarantee it because I know what they're doing. I know exactly what they're doing, and I know what I offer in the 6-month program is better than that, honestly, with more support even from me at a minimum. You know, Susan, I've had lots of regrowth. That's awesome, and then it falls out again once I'm stressed. It's the topic of today's conversation. We got to deal with the stress. We have to. It's day one. Chris, my doctor said my estrogen was low, but I had uterine cancer and cannot take estrogen. So then what do you do? Um, Again, this comes back to real functional medicine. So they're saying your estrogen is low. How did they determine that? I'm assuming it's one blood test. Okay. I don't, low estrogen doesn't help me. I want to know, why is your estrogen low? So that's why I do a Dutch test, right? So we have to look at hormones. Uterine cancer, again, age matters, right? So it depends on where you're at in your reproductive life. So my uterine cancer, and I cannot take estrogen. So what do I do? The solution is, here's the fundamental paradigm mindset shift. So your medical doctor says your estrogen's low. They want to give you estrogen because it's low. That's not going to fix anything, right? Oh, but you have uterine cancer, so I can't give you estrogen. Functional medicine, I want to know, wait a minute, why is your estrogen low? In the picture of your, and we have to look at it in the totality of you, right? It's not just like estrogen's low, give estrogen. Doesn't fix anything. TSH is high, here's Synthroid. Doesn't fix anything, right? So we need to figure out, why is your estrogen low? So we need to look at the pathway. Is it the estrogen problem or is it something further upstream? Right? So we got to look at a Dutch test so we can figure that out. Because then that's going to tell us what to fix. It's not your estrogen's low, take estrogen. That's not going to fix your problem. So I don't know what to do. Like your question is, so what do you do? I don't know. We'd have to figure it out. Like, why is your estrogen low? What's the solution? Great question, Chris. And that perfectly crystallizes the difference. I don't look at one blood test and be like, your estrogen's low, give you estrogen. That's not going to fix the problem. Why is the estrogen low? How does it fit into your picture? What do we do about it in totality? After we fix stress, after we fix inflammation, after we fix gut, it's got to be done in the proper sequence. It's not your estrogen's low, take estrogen. Doesn't fix a thing. That's your TSH is high, here's Synthroid. Not fixing a thing. Janine, do you address the lymphatic system in your program, mostly having to do with draining the toxins already in your system? Yes, that's a good one. So, and do you have a podcast? I do have a podcast, actually. It's called Hashimoto's Unfiltered. It's on Spotify, it's on my YouTube channel. It's called Hashimoto's Unfiltered. So if you search for it, you'll find it. Um, Now, let's go back to the first question. Lymphatic drainage. Drainage in general. So I think it's like, honestly, it's the first month of the protocol that I run patients through is we have to fix drainage of all kinds. We cannot start. So here's the thing. and you guys see this stuff out there. Everyone's like, "Oh, I did this pathogen or parasite cleanse, or I did this cleanse, or I did this, liver cleanse, or whatever." It's like the first thing someone did. Cannot be the first thing someone does because if you cannot get rid of the junk, if you can't get rid of the parasites, if you can't get rid of the lymph, if you can't get rid of the toxins, if you cannot get them out of your body, and you start trying to do it, and you don't eliminate them, what's going to happen? They're going to recirculate, right? So you start killing parasites, you start detoxing someone's liver, like you start doing these things in the wrong sequence, you cannot eliminate them, right? So if we're not draining properly, and primarily what does a lot of that have to do with? Bowel movements, right? Poop. Nobody wants to talk about it. I talk about it nonstop with my patients. You have to be weak. If we are not getting you pooping and getting you hydrated and peeing, like if we're not peeing and pooping, we cannot do anything else. We can do all the detoxes we want. If you cannot eliminate the toxins, they're only gonna recirculate. And we're right back where we started from. So yes, great question, Janine. We have to I didn't even talk about that today, but that's literally like the first month is getting someone pooping again and getting them draining because then we want to move on to, all right, cool, let's kill parasites. Let's do this, let's do that. But if you can't get rid of the things that we're trying to detox, it's a waste. It's only going to make you worse because they're going to recirculate. Does that make sense? Like if you poop every 5 days and we're trying to pull toxins, they're going to sit there and they're just going to recirculate. So, yeah, huge first step. That's part of gut, right? I mean, that's part of gut and stress and inflammation. Yes, podcast is Hashimoto's Unfiltered. Susan, most doctors say estrogen is low because a woman is uh, postmenopausal. That is true. That's 100% true. Someone's postmenopausal, their estrogen is going to be low. 100% true. That's what we expect, right? So again, we got to take it into context. I get plenty of patients that are postmenopausal. Paige, I think I'm in your Facebook group, but I can't remember for sure of the name. Yeah, let me grab it real quick. I'll grab the link actually real quick. Um, Here, I'll pull it up. I'm still sharing, right? Here, you know what? Hold on. Let me pull up another tab real quick. Ah, stupid Zoom thing's always in the way. It's called Rapid Thyroid Recovery. Oh, of course, I'm not logged in. I hope I remember my password. I'm always logged in, so I never remember. Oh, come on, be the right password. Be right. Can you guys see my screen? Oh, I knew it. Here, let me go back over here to this other browser. Right here. Can you guys see my screen? Can you see that? Rapid Thyroid Recovery. Yes. Thumbs up. Someone wave. No. All right, hold on. Let me stop sharing and then reshare. How about now? Should see it now, right? Yep, there it is. Cool. So that's it. You may be in their page. So it's rapid thyroid recovery, natural remission relief. I've had this group forever. So there's like almost 22,000 people in there. Because I've had this group for a long time. So you can see that page. Thumbs up. Howdy doody. Give me one of these, something like that. All right, cool. All right, Laura. Yeah, thank you. So yeah, that's it right there, Paige. So yeah, if you just request to join it, then there you are. Now you're in. The other people need to be vetted. But now you're in, Paige. Um, Laura, that's where I found you. Yeah, that's where a lot of people um find me. Um, I've had it for a long time. Like I said, there's 20,000 people in there, so yeah, I've had it for a very long time. So, um, yep, now you're in there, Paige. I just let you in. So, and I always stream them. Like, I stream I stream them mostly into that Facebook group. I do them on Zoom as well. Um, the uh, the Thursday live streams. I do them on Zoom, but I also stream them into the Facebook group. So, so, but you're in there. But there's so I do those every Thursday. Tomorrow's going to be leaky gut. I usually have a topic, and then I usually have a Q and A. And then I like to do these once a month on different topics. The So I think actually next month is going to be gut. I think I'm doing gut next month. So so stay tuned. But hope everyone enjoyed today. And Laura, yes, I know that's where you found me, Laura. Wish I found you 3 years ago. I hear that all the time. Better late than never. Janine probably wishes he found me 3 years ago too. Although 3 years ago I didn't have like you know, uh, an affordable 6 month program to help people. I, I I've only had that for I barely had it 3 months ago. So um, not finding your podcast, Janine. So search it on Spotify or my YouTube channel. So my YouTube channel is Raymond Benedetto DC. So that's like my full name. But if you can also check on Spotify, it's called Hashimoto's Unfiltered. Yeah, it is all in the timing, isn't it, Laura? Yeah, Paige, thanks for being here. Thanks for staying, gang. I mean, like I said, I'll stay, but we'll have to wrap up at some point. So, no worries, Paige. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you in the group. Uh, so yeah, Janine, Hashimoto's Unfiltered, Spotify. I produce mostly on Spotify and YouTube. So my YouTube channel is Raymond Benedetto DC. Should be able to find my channel. Um, so cool. All right, gang. If we don't have any other questions, we'll wrap it up. And message me if you need me. Get locked in. Sign up for the plan if you want. Let's get going. If you want to book a call, book a call. We'll have a chat. If you're already in the Facebook group, I'll see you in the Facebook group. Tomorrow we're doing leaky gut. So join in, have some fun. And if you guys need anything, let me know. You got, like I said, you guys want to sign up for the plan. Let's get to work. You need a consult. Let's do it. Janine, I found you on YouTube. Awesome. Um, I'll see you next week. And yeah, check it out. I got all my YouTube or all my podcast episodes on there. So I got a ton of other stuff on my YouTube channel. So thank you everyone for being here. I appreciate the time. If you guys have any questions, you want to sign up, let's do it. Let's get to work. You want to book a call, let's do it. Let's get to work. Um, Next month, I'm going to do another one, but I'll see you in the Facebook group if you need me. Um, and we'll see you tomorrow for Leaky Gut. So thank you everyone for being here. I appreciate you. And if I can ever be of service in any way, please let me know. Take care, everyone.